What's up, guys? Duncan the Highlander here, talking about UFC 229. Well, I knew it. Tony Ferguson's going to steal the show. And y'all thought I was going to talk about that fight. Nah. Of course, I got to give Tony Ferguson some respect. Something that I found was really interesting. Obviously, after a long layoff, after having some sort of knee injury, I don't know, it's different getting in the cage and having that, those fights after it's been just a long period of time that you've had in between. Just being able to see Tony Ferguson get out there, it was weird. Just the things he does. He's very chinny. His guard's really low. He likes to block. He doesn't use a high guard, like his hands, to defend punches a lot. He likes to use a shoulder roll to defend punches. He's just kind of like an ugly fighter. You know what I mean? Like, when you watch his technique, it's not always the prettiest thing, but at the same time, it is kind of really beautiful. What he's good at, it's not just setting a pace. That's what people talk about. People talk about how Tony Ferguson's good at setting a pace. But I think what people miss is that Tony Ferguson also has good rhythm. His technique isn't that beautiful, but his rhythm is really good. How he lands his strikes when he's coming in, that's why, even though he gets hit a lot, that's why once he gets his rhythm, when he's switching his stance, that's how he likes to avoid strikes. He likes to switch his stance to avoid strikes. He likes to use a shoulder roll to avoid strikes so that he can keep his hands low. He likes to keep his hands low and overextend. Robin Black talks about that a lot, how he likes to overextend so that he can punch from a further range, punch from a kicking range. I just think that fight was beautiful fight, and it was kind of like a interesting display between a hyper technical striker and Anthony Pettis. With Anthony Pettis, he's like the definition of a super hyper technical striker. He is a lifelong martial artist, 3rd, 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo, and he has a brother who also is a black belt in Taekwondo and someone that you can train with. When you have a sibling that you can train with day in, day out, those motherfuckers become something else. That's just when you have a training partner that you can compete with all the time, that just allows you to just train at a different level that people don't normally have. Matt Hughes, what people don't know is he's famous. Well, I guess I can't say what people don't know and say famous. So he's famous for having a twin brother that never really fought, but trained with him, and they had epic battles. John Jones has an older brother, younger brother, and he would always say that Arthur Jones would be a better fighter than him and can still beat his ass. So it's just super interesting when you think about the fight and how he spent all this time away and he just came back and he was able to put the pressure on Anthony Pettis. The fight was just beautiful. I guess I'm just thinking about the time. What I'm trying to get back to is just the contrast between a hyper technical striker in Anthony Pettis and a janky, but just it works, and his rhythm is really interesting, and his rhythm and his timing is what makes him so different, and his footwork and the way he moves is different, but the strikes he throws aren't that pretty in Tony Ferguson, and it was just a super nice, interesting fight. Of course, actually, I'm just gonna make that one video, and then I'm gonna make another video about the